before you came to Serbia, how much and what have you known about it?
Most of what I've known has come from the last 6 months since I found out about, the sort of Nick Slaughter for president. And the research that I've done is all I know. But it's hard because I'm outside of the country. I've had a lot of help from Bane and Lubomir and Radulay, our connections here. Because basically all I'm reading is, there's a lot of biased opinions. It's hard to get honest. So, anytime I read an article or found something new, Mark and I would call them and just test it with them and say, is that really what happened? Is that true? Is that... So, I didn't know. I know, or I knew 6 months ago what every Canadian knows about Serbia, which was nothing, except there was a war there. Yeah, I know it's terrible. We have no information whatsoever. And now what I've learned in the last 6 months is I can't understand why we don't know about it, because it's a very inspiring story.
Do you know that your character actually had a cult status over here? And we had some hilarious sentences about your character, Nick Slaughter, the Serbia hails to you. Yeah, you know about that. Yeah.
There's something about a mother too, no?
Yeah, I know. No.
I
I can't really remember that.
Right, which I have to show to my mother, because she's, see? Yeah. But I saw that, and it's very charming, and it's something that has nothing to do with, I don't know, it's like, because of the time period, the character transcended anything. It just became something that everybody could grab onto and have in common.
Relate to it as good versus bad.
Yeah, exactly. Without judging the quality of the show.
Yeah.
It was just, So it's good. I mean, it's wonderful to even be involved in something that comforted people.
So, what do rebellious 90s, as the period in which the series appeared, or what do they represent to you?
They represent to me what you saw in Tropical Heat as a guy that was on a beach in beautiful places in Mauritius and saw that big sunsets, drinking beer, beautiful girls around. I'm afraid it wasn't a very rebellious time for me because that's what I think is one of the ironies of the documentary we're making is what was I doing in the 90s compared to what Serbia had to go through. And it's really, I was just being very lazy and having fun and lying on a beach and you guys had some struggles and it's, but to contrast that, to show Canadians, look, we got it easy over here, and look at what some countries you have to go through to attain with freedom, to fight and to be organized, because we really don't know anything about that, and that we want to sort of share that history with our own country.
After the Tropical Heat, what were you doing in the meantime?
I quit acting. After it, I moved to Mexico, back to Puerto Vallarta, for about 1.5 years, 2 years. And then my wife went like this and said, go back to acting. Okay. So I moved to Los Angeles, and then I just did, TV movies like the Hallmark one, and did another series called Peter Benchley's Amazon. I did a series recently called Painkiller Jane. So I worked, all the time, but just nothing as big as Chocolate. Yeah, I'm outside of LA now, so you don't really get big.
In the series, you got a lot of heel-to-face kicks. So I think it just got to that point that you actually asked yourself, how much longer? So is it the hardest kick you ever taken?
What, was sweating bullets? We're trained to miss. Anytime I get in a confrontation with someone in a bar, or someone starts, the pushing and the shoving, I always stop them and say, look, I'm an actor. I'm trained to miss my punches. So I don't.
You can try American wrestling. So.
That's right. Maybe that would be easier. It was, but honestly, Chocolate Heat was actually a lot of stunts, hanging from helicopters, and I did a lot of them. It was hard. It was hard work. I make fun of it like I was just lying on the beach, but it was long hours, and but honestly, probably the most fun I've ever had in my life.
So are there any news from your female colleague, Carolyn?
I called her about 2 months ago to tell her about this, and she wants to be involved in the documentary somehow. We couldn't arrange for it this trip because it was just too fast, but hopefully we can come back and include her.